The Jaire Alexander drama is not over yet because he had a really interesting thing that he put on his Instagram story today. We're going to break that down, what that might mean about his future with Green Bay and his new restructured contract. Then we're going to hear a little bit from Xavier McKinney, his thoughts on Jaire Alexander, his thoughts on him being back in 2025. And then we're going to round it all out with Jayden Reed finally speaking after all the offseason drama surrounding him and his situation with Green Bay. It's been a dramatic last couple of months. Hopefully we're going to put some things in a nice little bow for you guys right here on the Packers Report. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is your first time here, we do this thing every single day, so you guys should subscribe and join us, right? All you got to do is hit that big red sub button. That helps us out in our May sub battle against the Minnesota Vikings, and they're currently kind of kicking our tails. They have the biggest lead yet, 27 subs over us right here on the Packers Report. If you think the Packers are better than the Vikings, if you hate the Vikings, if you love the Packers, you found the right place to be. Help us out, help us win this sub battle, and hit that free subscribe button. Alrighty, on today's show, we got a new update on the entire saga surrounding Jaire Alexander. This one coming from himself. But before we go into that, I got to remind you guys, Green Bay offered a contract, a restructured contract on Tuesday, coming from Nat Schneidman of The Athletic, saying the Packers have offered Jaire Alexander a restructured contract, according to a source, but there's no resolution yet. So that was on Tuesday, and then Wednesday rolled around. Yesterday, that was the first open practice for OTAs. And guess who wasn't in attendance? That's right, Jaire Alexander, which didn't really shock me at the time. I kind of figured that was probably a leverage play, him not coming the day after he was offered a contract, kind of keep a little bit of the power. And then we get to today, and we see this on the Instagram story. It's originally a GIF or GIF. I don't know how you guys like to say it, but regardless, and those are dollar bills floating down the screen, him on a boat, and on the bottom of it, it cuts it off from here. It says, "Got them dead people on me. Please don't tell nobody." Of course, he's referring those dollar bills. He also posted an additional story right after that one, him taking a interception back to the house against the Tennessee Titans. A couple of weird and random stories, especially coming after the restructured contract offer, and especially coming after him not being at OTAs. But regardless, there he is, and we got to talk about it. I want you guys to make the call for me. What do these Instagram stories mean? This might seem silly, but this is just kind of how the world works right now. This is kind of how the NFL is. This is how these people, these players, kind of deal with things on their social media. So you guys let me know what your thoughts are on it down below. I got two thoughts, okay? Two theories. One's good, one's bad. My number one theory is saying that this is him saying he's agreed to the contract. This is him saying that, you know what? He's shaking hands with Brian Gutekunst. And now, personally, I prefer high fives over handshakes, but basically I think this might be them saying they've got the deal done. And even though he's taking a pay cut, here's where the money comes into it, right? Because you're saying, okay, if he's agreed to a deal that's restructured, that's less than his current salary, wouldn't he be taking less money? Why would there be the dollar bills on the Instagram story? Well, he still could make his entire base salary if the contract just gets shifted to an incentivized one based on games played, right? You play X amount of games, you get X amount of money. Saves the Packers from having to pay him if he has to sit on the bench, and it saves him from having to go to another team in free agency and take less money. And there's a reason that they would want to do this, right? Because of the lack of games played over the last 4 seasons. He's missed 20 in the last 2 years, in 2023 and 2024. They want him to be on the field. They want to pay him, but they don't want to pay him for sitting on the bench. So my first theory is that maybe this means he's accepted it. Right? The dollar bills say new contract, new money. I could get a lot if I play the majority of the games. My second theory is not as positive as that one. Maybe this is him cryptically saying that he won't take a new deal. And if there's anything that we know about this generation of the National Football League, is that these guys use social media a lot in these contract negotiations. This is his current deal, right? 2 years, base $37 million, average $21 million, zero guaranteed dollars left. Maybe this is just him saying, you know what? I'm already rolling in it. I'm not going to take anything less. It's an interesting thing to interpret, but I think it's important. I think that it matters. But what else matters is that we know his teammates want him back. We know his teammates want him in the building. It was the first open practice OTAs yesterday. It's the first time we got to hear from a lot of these players since locker room cleanout, and Xavier McKinney had a lot to say about Jaire Alexander. We'd all like him back. I talk to him every day, pretty much just trying to stay connected with him. We've developed a great relationship with each other. And I think they should want him back because I want him back. I think you should want him back. This team is undoubtedly better with him in the roster. If he's not on this roster, it's a massive hole right there in that secondary room. And I still think that something gets done before minicamp, okay? Mandatory minicamp is from June 10th to the 12th. Keep your eye on that. It's been about 2 weeks from now. I think something gets done before then, okay? Up next, we're going to talk a little bit about Jayden Reed. He speaks on his offseason drama, and I think he gives a little bit of, I don't want to say pause to all the comments, but I think after you're going to hear what he says, you're going to feel a little bit better about that situation. But before we get into that, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Daily Packers coverage, news, rumors, analysis. We go live for all of the football games upcoming in the season. And the best part is we involve you guys, the fans. This is a two-way conversation, okay? I don't just talk at you. We talk together, and it's all 100% free. So if those 5 reasons are good enough to convince you, then I don't know. Maybe you're not that big of a Packers fan as you think. So before we hear from Reed, we got to remember what happened, okay? Because this is what he addresses. On May 12th, Adam Schefter tweeted this out. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst met last week with Jayden Reed's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, to clarify the wide receiver status in Green Bay after the team drafted Matthew Golden and Savion Williams. The team said it will not affect Reed's status as its top receiver per source. My initial reaction to this, and you can go back and look at the video even if you want to, like I said this then, I'm saying it now, I thought people overreacted to the situation. Okay? I thought people made this a little bit of a bigger deal than it actually was. Like, I think a lot of us would do the exact same thing, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second, but here's Reed talking about his situation. A lot of people misinterpreted that. I hired a new agent, and we talked about it before the draft, really, that he said he was going to talk to the front office and everybody here just to catch up and make sure everybody's on the same page. As a new client, he told me that's the way he was going to do it, and he did it. Now, I don't know how it got out because it was supposed to be confidential, but that's how it goes sometimes. People get a different perception. They make their own perception, which is okay. That's how it goes sometimes. And I said this then. I'm going to say it now. I think any one of us would have done the exact same thing if we were in his shoes. Okay? Say you're an electrician. Say you're a carpenter. Say your boss hires 2 new, young, fast, efficient, really impressive new electricians into your business. You're probably going to have a discussion with your boss and say, hey, I know we got the new guys. I think they're going to help the team out a lot, but I just want to make sure when that, 8,000 square foot mansion on the outside of town needs new lights, that I'm the guy you're going to install those, okay? Now, that might prove that I don't know much about being an electrician, but I think you get what I'm saying. I think you're catching my drift, and that's all that he was doing. That's all his agent was doing, was making sure that even though they got some new wide receivers in, that this team realizes the asset that Jayden Reed still can be. And honestly, what matters to me is 3 things. And this is why I don't really care that any of this happened. Number 1, he's at voluntary workouts. That matters. That means something. These things are voluntary. They don't have to go to them. And he went. Second thing that matters to me, he's being a leader to the rookies, to the young guys, the young guns, that is. He could come in with a bad attitude, be looking at Savion, be looking at Matthew Golden and saying, you know what? Screw you guys. You guys are going to take 20% of my targets. I'm not trying to help you guys get better. I'm going to let myself eat. No, he's not doing that. He's leading those guys. He's helping those guys. And number 3, I care if he's making plays. And from everything I saw yesterday at OTAs and everything I heard from yesterday at OTAs, he's still doing that. He's still this team's playmaker. Now he's just one of a couple others, okay? Crystal ball time. Do your guys' best job. Do your guys' best impression of a, what are those people called? The crystal ball people. Psychic? Yeah, let's say that. I need you guys to predict Jayden Reed's 2025 stat line. Let me know how many catches, yards, and touchdowns down below. Make sure you guys are also following me over on X. Follow me on Twitter as well. I'm getting really close to 900 Twitter followers. So if you're not following me over there, now is the time to do so. I really would appreciate every single one of you guys. And if you're not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're doing. Make sure to go hit that big red sub button and join us for daily coverage of your favorite team.